yeah. Ball in my court, high step is a layup. My life like a movie, just keep moving, it's a trailer. Chefing in my kitchen, got me trying to get my cake up. I thank God for all this coming to me, not straight up.
Ash, what's up? How was Christmas, my man?
Oh, Christmas is wild, bro. Both families came through again. And, white people, black people came together in harmony and bliss. It was cool. It really was. It was a little hectic for us because we have a baby, 4-month-old baby, and we had to prepare for 20 plus guests to come through. But it was, food was rolling. I burnt cookies. I was pissed.
Yo, I cooked a steak. You inspired me.
You cook now.
Because of you, man. They say you're like most like the 5 people you hang around. I mean, I've been hanging around you a lot lately. I think like that kind of rubbed off on me.
I'm telling you, once you start cooking like consistently, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
It really.
My wife gave it a 3 out of 10. My steak.
Steak is an easy thing to cook, brother. So that's not.
She's brutally honest, though.
At the end of the day, I heard a great quote the other day: "Never judge a man by where they stand because you don't know where they came from." So we don't know how far how that 3 out of 10 could be. I mean, yesterday could have been a 0 out of 10. If you're not cooking, it's a 0.
Yeah.
Right, so
I'm on my way, son.
you're on your way. You right there.
We're here. Yo, what's been on your basketball mind?
Man, what's been on my basketball mind? NBA offense has been on my basketball mind. Spoiled KD has been on my basketball mind, if the reports are true.
Okay, this is what the report was, though. This is what the report was. Woj said that the team is feeling like KD is frustrated. So Woj is reporting on what the team is feeling.
Yeah.
What the team is feeling about KD, not what KD is feeling.
Well, KD is also very passive aggressive, so it makes sense that he's on a very passive aggressive organization, and they're operating in the same exact space. But I mean, if he wants to win and that's his goal, then absolutely.
So then he should be frustrated.
He should be frustrated. Now, if there are rumblings that his frustration is leading to him leaving, because they've heard something, that's a whole nother thing. But here's the thing, KD, you put yourself in this situation. Like, you have been the type of person to get frustrated and then you run. So what?
But
so
Woj,
if you're frustrated, you cannot get mad or feel a certain type of way when a team thinks that you might leave.
But Woj knows people thinks this, and that's why he makes these reports. I feel like he knows what's going to get. Like we were just talking about engagement before the show.
Okay.
Like he knows that if he puts that out there, even though KD didn't say anything, people will have that reaction.
I mean, hey, this is the world we live in now. We are in a clickbait society. Woj dropped another bomb, as they say, right? Woj bomb. And people took the story and ran with it, and social media ran with it.
Yes, ran with it. That's a good way to put it.
So it's like, who knows what's the truth anymore? But this is where we live in. We live in this minutia of like, it doesn't matter if it's true. We're gonna create our own narratives about it. And the crazy thing is that it's like, it's not even just us as fans or we're media. It's NBA players. You know what I mean? Like, there were NBA players talking about it. Ex-NBA players. Brandon Jennings was like, yo, like KD is better than this. He should get at it. Like, this is how far the potential lie or truth has gone, where you have people that should be in the know. Brandon Jennings, like, I'm not saying he's in the league anymore, but I'm sure he's connected enough to real league sources to know what the truth is. But now this is a real story now, So who knows what the circumstances are? But at the end of the day, KD, you put yourself in this situation, brother. Like, dog, you wanted out of Brooklyn. You wanted out of OKC. You wanted out of Golden State. Now you are here. Like, if you consider yourself to be one of the best players in the world, like you say you are, like people say you are, then just figure it out. Like, I'm not asking you to be number one team in the Western Conference.
But that's what he
brother.
expects of his own team.
What?
I think that's what he expects of his own team, and that's
Well,
why he's
if
frustrated.
that's what you expect of your own team, then you're fucking wrong. Because right now you're not even in the play-in territory, or you're the 9th team.
Even
right now.
in full health, do you think this team would be a legit title contender?
I mean, contender potentially.
I don't think so.
Potentially. And when I say contender, I mean, yeah, a
2
shot.
years from now, if
A
they stay
shot.
together and get the right pieces around them.
Yeah, you have a shot. I don't think, I think when people say the word contender, I think often people confuse contender with who I think is going to win the championship. And that's not the case. Yes, if that team fully loaded with Bradley Beal, I think they can be a contender. I don't think that they're the favorites. I think that they can be in the mix where if Booker and KD go on a crazy run and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal's there giving them 22 points a night, I think, and some team folds, somebody gets hurt in the playoffs, yes, they could have a chance to win a championship.
They don't have enough around them, and there's redundancy and skill set with those three guys. They're basically the same player. KD just happens to be 7 feet, and that's what makes him an all-time great.
Okay, I agree with that, but they still have a great they're great offensive firepower. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying you're pointing out their issues, and those are their issues. I still think with that team, probably a solid year to gel, they're a contender. This season, maybe they're not a contender. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I was saying the same thing about the Clippers a few weeks ago. Now the Clippers are legit. Like, everybody was saying.
What did I tell you? Kawhi looks like Toronto Raptors Kawhi. Things change, and that's what he's been looking like.
Okay, let's see. I mean, I don't think they're going to win a championship, but still, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, look at them now. You know what I mean? Like, the way the NBA landscape changes, especially when you have players like that, it can change very quickly. Now, the issues with Phoenix, I don't think are as much. Like, yes, they have their personnel issues. I think that organization is just cursed. I think they're fucked from the bottom down. I don't like the new guy. What's his name? Ishbia. I don't like him.
We got to a fight with Jokic, like a little pushing shove with Jokic last year.
I don't like him. I think he's the type of person who's trying to push all the chips to the middle very quickly. You know, he wants to be. I'm sure
quick fixes.
He's a quick fix guy, but it also seems like the type of guy he kind of struts his stuff to be, you know, I want to be the biggest dick in the room type of guy. You know what I mean? And he wants to show off a lot what he does. He's an ex-player. He talks about that a lot. You know the guy he played. Who did he play for? Michigan
No
State,
idea.
I think.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
He's a player.
No, I remember that. I just don't remember what school.
Yeah. So, I think that they have bigger issues there, within the organization, but I don't see them winning a championship anytime soon.
Speaking of a team that has been changing to their good fortune, the Memphis Grizzlies, 4-0 as of this recording. They play the Denver Nuggets tonight, so they might lose tonight. But Ja Morant, man. Ja Morant. You know what's interesting? We're going to get to that while you're shaking your head. But you know what's interesting? They used to say like a few years back that when the team would win without him, Ja's impact wasn't that grand, right? Because the team was still winning. Now we see how much of an impact Ja really has. And like in the playoffs, you need Ja Morant to win. Like, and we see that here. But Ja Morant throws down a massive dunk, and then he does the New Orleans Pelicans TikTok dance. I don't know how it goes.
It's a TikTok dance? That's
Yeah.
what it is okay. All right.
And, you know, they get crazy, and that celebration kind of goes viral because it looks somewhat like he's shooting guns.
No, it looks exactly like he's shooting guns. Somewhat. Like, I don't know if he's actually shooting guns. I don't know if that's actually, maybe he is shooting guns and that's part of the dance. I don't know. Either way, it's a bad fucking look. Like, dog, I get it, Ja. Like, you are an exuberant player who likes to dance and, you know, and you're super talented. Bro, just like sometimes, like, you know when the cops behind you and you're driving your car and you start driving on your best behavior, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you should be doing when you
That's
get
so
back.
annoying when the cops pull up behind you.
It is annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, fam, like you just got in trouble. Just relax for a little bit. Dog, it's like, bro, the first game back, I kept receipts. Like, dog, like,
I kind of like that energy.
here's the thing, man. Like, this is what I think a lot of players don't realize. Like, and it sucks because you're a black man in America and you should be able to express yourself in any way that you want to, right? But it's unfortunate that so much of our culture is affiliated with negative connotations, right? It just is. You know what I mean? Like hip hop culture, street culture, hood culture. Like, so much of the world sees that as a negative, right? When it comes to business, right? Organizations and whatnot, right? The NBA actually, give it credit. They do a really good job of kind of like tiptoeing that line, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, you have to understand that this is a brand that you are working under, right? And if you're going to do things that are controversial, especially after you just got in trouble, like, you got to be prepared for that heat. Like, just like Draymond, if you accidentally hit somebody, bro, you're going to get a suspension because you got that heat on you, fam. Like, so Ja, you got that heat on you. If you do a dance that looks like it's a gun dance, even if you do some, like, we've seen Ja hit some shots up and do some symbols with his hands that are probably just symbols for his friends. You know what I mean? Like his people, his boys or whatever, right? Oh, they're going to say it's gang signs. They're going to say it's gang signs, right? Dog, you got to understand you're under a microscope. Like, it don't make any sense, dog. These players, it's such a hard line because you're 23, you're a multimillionaire, you're the fucking man everywhere you go, right? You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want, right? You've earned the right to be able to do whatever the fuck you want, but you can't. And you have to understand that. And that's where the maturity, like Chandler Parsons was talking about it, right? Chandler comes off like an old racist man, but like he's speaking a little bit of facts. Like, dog, I get it, but like it's
A little bit of facts. Is it all facts, or how do you feel?
No, I just feel like he's the biggest facts that Chandler is speaking is that you just have to mature and recognize what it looks like. Like, yes, from a micro standpoint, yes, you're doing a specific dance or whatever. Take a step back and look at it from a macro standpoint, right? Your boss is Jewish, right? The commissioner and whatnot, right?
Adam Silver.
And you just came back from suspension because you displayed 2 guns on camera. Now you're doing something that looks like gun motions. Like that. Even though that could be not what you're looking to do or what you were doing, you have to look at it from a big picture and be like, oh, it does look like that from their perspective, right? Somebody that doesn't really know our culture. So, like, you have to move smooth, man. It's just like some of these dudes, like, I'm like, bro, just relax. Just calm down a little bit. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, you're talented. Everybody wants you out there. You didn't, like, dog, I've never seen anybody come back from suspension that long and not skip a beat.
Well, he was practicing with the team, which helps.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. That definitely helps. Wait, what?
Yeah,
What kind of
yeah.
suspension is that?
They allowed to practice with the team, which was good for the league because he came out, as you said, not missing a beat.
Oh my goodness, man! Dog,
Yo, he's really
he's gonna do this shit again. He's gonna do this shit again. I promise you, bro. Because it's that's not even a real suspension, dog. You practicing with the team, like, dog. Come on, man. Like,
he didn't play in games.
it don't matter, bro. He's like, it's like a slap in the wrist, bro. Like, man, they lucky my boy David Stern ain't up there, man. David Stern would have kicked him out the league forever, bro. Forever. Like it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, the dress code went away and everything. now. You notice that?
I like what Adam Silver is implementing, but I do think that it's gonna boil over. I think that you can see it. You can see that even though the rules are like he's trying to implement, a bunch of rules, like you can see the animosity. You can see how much more there is altercations day in and day out. Like it's gonna boil over, and I think that one of these playoffs, maybe this playoffs or the next playoffs, is gonna be like those 2000 playoffs with the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks. There's gonna be a rivalry between two teams where, like,
Malice in the Palace.
I don't know. Malice in the Palace was different because it was fans, but there might be some brawl. It's just like it's getting more and more competitive where these bottom feeder teams are coming in with chips on their shoulder, ready to take on like the teams that are the juggernauts and whatnot. So I think that I also think there's a lot of rivalries going on. I think these podcasts have really opened the door where people are in mid-season talking shit, and these podcasts are unfiltered and people are saying stuff about teams. People are saying, oh yeah, the Lakers were the easiest team to beat in the playoffs, man. Even though we played them in the Western Conference Finals, the real tough team was Minnesota. They were tougher.
It was truth though. Yeah.
It don't matter. That shit that shit is creating animosity. So I think that
styles make fights, but yeah.
I think that this shit is gonna boil over. I think Adam Silver is gonna have to become stricter because I just think he is too lenient, and I think that people are gonna abuse it. Players are gonna abuse it,
I want to get to Jordan and Kobe actually, but before that, ask Ash. What do you have for me?
Okay, what did they ask this week? Okay, so since we're talking about KD, right, and some of these talented players, Ja Morant and whatnot, let me pull it up. Actually, I don't want to misquote it. All right.
Wow, pulling out the phone. Look at that.
Gotta make sure I got my notes. Okay, all right. So do you consider trash talking and showboating? Do you think it's now part of the game?
Should be part of the game. It's a great part of the game.
No, but do you think it has to be? It's now a part of the game, whereas in the past, particularly showboating was frowned upon, right? Do you think that is now a strategy that people employ?
What do you mean by strategy?
Okay, for example,
I mean, it's always been mind games, so it's always been strategy.
Showboating,
talking shit, showboating, all that shit. That shit is all mind games. That shit, I want to get in somebody's head if I'm talking shit.
Talking shit is one thing. Showboating, right? Do you think showboating is now part of the game?
Of course it's part of the game.
Do you think it's something that...
we just talked about what Ja did after the dunk. That's showboating.
Okay, but do you think that is something that is required now in the game?
What do you mean by required?
Okay, so look at the success that somebody Okay, I'm gonna give a wider.
I'm from New York, so I like talking shit. I like seeing people talk shit, especially when you keep it basketball,
Okay.
Yeah.
Think about this, right? Look at the success of someone like Dylan Brooks, right? Right?
There's a lot of substance with his antics, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? So, think about the lack of success of someone from a entertainment career standpoint of Tim Duncan. If Tim Duncan had a showboating mentality, do you think he would be considered a better player? Or do you think that he would have been looked at differently? Do you think it would have elevated his game?
It's so hard to take one part of somebody's personality and change it because what he was as a human helped that franchise. so much, you know? Like his character, who he was as a person, how he brought that team together, right? How he didn't care about taking the accolades and just spreading it around to everybody, kind of like how Jokic is today, right? So, no, I don't like people look at Tim Duncan as like a top 10, top 12 guy all the time. So I don't know how much it would have helped him.
I mean, his legacy though. Like, how much do you think it could have helped his legacy in terms of like, I mean, like Michael Jordan.
His
right?
character helped that Spurs, like him. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I mean, here's the thing: his character helped the Spurs, but at the same time,
Kareem
was
is
different.
Kareem is top 3 in a lot of people's minds. He didn't talk anything. Quiet guy.
Kareem didn't talk shit.
Nah.
I heard Kareem was the biggest asshole.
It was an asshole, but on the court, nah.
He didn't talk.
A monotone dude.
He's a talker. He's a writer now. You know, my wife edits for him.
That's dope.
Yeah. She edits.
We got to get him on the podcast.
writes. I don't know about that. He's an asshole. She said he's nice to him though, but he's
nice to her. He's nice to her.
He's nice to her. Yeah, he writes a lot. That's something he does. He loves doing. So he writes for.
Has he written many books?
He's written many books, but he writes pieces for MSNBC. And my wife
Interesting.
works for. She's a journalist at MSNBC. So
What's his perspective on things? If you could sum it up real quick.
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I often don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So. But
Okay.
yeah, she says he's a talented writer. But okay, so back to what we were saying. Like nowadays, you think about it, right? Do you think that the perspective has shifted when it comes to showboating, right? I grew up, right, where if you were up 20, they put the bench players in the game. I mean, the coach told the bench players don't shoot, which was a fucked up thing.
Talk
right?
about sportsmanship.
Fucked up shit. Showboating is not sportsmanship. It's not considered within sportsmanship.
Say it again. I think we're losing each other here.
No. Sportsmanship and showboating are hand in hand.
Okay.
Like, you don't need to rub it in someone's face when you score or block their shot. You don't need to do that. That was always shunned upon. Back in the day, if you were that type of person, you got hurt the next play. That's what they did. You know? That's just how the game was. It has evolved. Now, more and more, then like in the 90s and the 2000s, when people's brands started getting big, you saw the success of certain players who were more outspoken on the court. They got shoe deals. They were prime time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like you have to do that. You have to do that. If you're a quiet guy, you're not selling those shoes. How many? You ever seen anybody with the New Balance Kawhis hooping? Seen anybody?
No.
Never in my life, fam, have I ever seen anybody with them shoes. Like, and I go out. I always checking people's foot game. I'm always checking people's shoe game. Never in my life have I seen one person with them things. I've seen a couple people with the Fun Guy shirts though. That was good brand marketing. That was pretty good stuff. But right now, like, that is how much more success can you get? You know, like Dylan Brooks might get a shoe deal. He's playing good, talking shit. He's a villain. People love it.
Nobody's wearing the Dylan Brooks.
They might wear him in China if he gets a now Ling.
Li Ning.
You know,
D-Wade had Li Ning, yeah.
Hey,
I like Li Ning.
Clay Thompson. People, I've never seen an American person with Clay Thompson's, but his shoes is killing over there.
Good for
and
him.
He's got checks coming every month.
That's what's up.
So like, you don't have to have a major shoe, bro. Nobody's shoes are really selling in America. Nobody. The only shoes that are really killing it in America are Kobe's. Those are, and Jordans obviously, but like hoop shoes.
Durant's and Kyrie's.
Yeah, Durant's and Kyrie's are solid.
And Kyrie's,
they're nothing compared to what Nike premier
Kyrie's
sellers,
not there anymore.
What?
Kyrie's not there anymore.
Yeah. Jaws replaced him. The new Jaws ones did all right. You know, they did pretty good. but like they're nothing compared to what the premier Nike endorsed players in the past were like. Even like in the mid '90s with the GPs, the gloves,
So you think talking shit improves your legacy, or showboating improves like your legacy? You have to back it up, obviously. But,
you got to back it up, but I think it's part of the game now, and it's just something.
but then on the other end, the refs don't let you showboat. Like Giannis will grill somebody, even not even grill him, like kind of grill and go by him, and they'll give him a tech, and he's sitting on the stands. Like the refs are not even letting people showboat.
Well, okay, so showboating to yourself and showboating to other players is what the refs are really criticizing. If you grill somebody to your face, looking right at them, that's, I think the refs
Kind of passed them by, but I see what you're saying.
I agree that the refs shouldn't do that, but like
Hanging on the rim, all that stuff, bro.
You watch every AAU game, dudes go 1 for 8, and on their first make, they're doing the arrow.
100%.
They're putting their hands in the air. Like, it's just part of it.
I think you have to be good first before you do that, or have
Yeah.
some kind of accomplishments first before you do that.
You know, the irony of all of that, right, is that these motherfuckers showboat all day long. But when they are in position to showboat the most that they possibly can to find success in the NBA dunk contest, these motherfuckers dunk it and they put their head down. What the fuck is that? Dog, it's like I don't
That should be more performance.
that is the number one platform for you to go out and do whatever. Dog, I miss the fucking days when motherfuckers brought birthday cakes, they brought props, Superman jerseys.
Nate Robinson
like,
dunking over.
They had
Nate.
really well thought out stuff. Like, dog, I still think the performance element of Aaron Gordon's
He lost
second
that.
one?
He lost that one
The
too.
one he lost.
I think he never
was
won
the
one.
Best performance I've ever seen in a dunk contest. Like, from a performer standpoint, I was thoroughly entertained. Like, the thought process of getting like something like a viral electronic, like a hoverboard, having dudes spinning on the hoverboard, catching it, like doing the scoop
You had,
dunk.
you had a hoverboard, right? I did too.
Of course, I still got one. I got one initially to film because I was doing some athletic stuff, and I wanted to be able to move as quickly as the
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I still use it sometimes. If I do
That shit still works from back then.
yeah, I kept my shit in good condition.
I sold my shit.
So
I gave my shit away actually. Yeah.
but it's like that's the irony. Like, that's where to perform. And I feel like the dunk contest, man, like, nobody's performing in it. Like, with all that said, right? You can perform, but you also have to have a natural gift to be a performer. And like one thing that, you know, I know we're kind of going off subject a little bit, but I feel bad for the NBA and where it could potentially go in terms of the face, because I think I said this a little bit.
Gotta be Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, we'll see. But like, at the same time, like, we have been blessed as NBA fans to have the faces and one of the greatest players in the game also be incredible performers, have like the most beautiful games. Like, LeBron doesn't have the most beautiful, but his game there's an appeal to it. Like, he looks like a Greek god physically. Like, he's charismatic, he's funny, he's got a prototypical ideal body that we would like as an NBA player. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, you know, but we have this new era where it looks like the best players that are going to be in the NBA within the next few years are going to be Wemby and Chet. Them motherfuckers look goofy. Like, no disrespect. Like, they look goofy. Nobody's going to be like, oh, I want a body like Chet. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, they still nasty.
He did say he was the best player in the league coming into the league.
He said he might be. Like, he might be. Like, what they are doing is, I'm not taking anything away from their game, but he's a goofy looking motherfucker. Like, no, this is dog. I ain't the first person to say it.
Nah,
But dog, that doesn't take away from how nasty his game is. So like,
But I think that actually hurt his evaluation because people used to just look at him. And be
No,
like,
I agree.
Because
I
I was like, this dude should be the number one pick.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, if he
Yeah.
if he had gotten a nice crisp lineup before
People
the
are still hating
before
on
the
him.
draft, he might have
You know
got
what?
number
People-
one.
People are still hating on him to this day for the way he looks.
He's
like
a
they don't want
goofy-looking
they don't
motherfucker.
want to believe him. They don't want to believe what he's doing right now. They don't want to believe it.
Motherfucker. Man, he looked like he from Oklahoma. But here's the thing, and that is, I'm sad for the NBA because if those guys are the best players in the league, it's unfortunate because they don't I know as an individual who's marketed things, who's branded things before. You know what I mean? We pick good-looking actors for a reason. You know what I mean?
Like me, right?
Just like you.
There you go.
You know, you play the role of Michael Rappaport.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. But anyways, no. I'm saying, it's real talk though. Like, so these guys.
Maybe we could be the current day Woody and Wesley. White man can't jump.
Wesley was whack at ball.
He was.
He was like really.
You know what? I couldn't realize. I was
like Woody Harrelson could hoop.
I was so young. I couldn't realize he was trash. Like I think I don't know how I was young when that movie came out.
Stupid athletic though.
That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't realize that.
was like a
when I got older, I realized how much better Woody was than Wesley. But like,
who's the nicest actor baller? Dwayne Martin's got to be.
Yeah.
Dwayne Martin. I heard Dwayne Martin. I mean, Dwayne Martin was in the league. I don't know if he actually played in the league, but he was drafted by the Knicks.
He was tough. Like you could tell when he was dribbling.
He was drafted by the Knicks.
That's such a New York movie. I love that movie, Above the Rim.
But shout out to Leon who was on your podcast.
Yes, sir. Shout
Leon
out to
could
Leon.
really hoop. He played D1 somewhere. I forget where he went.
Smooth dude, good dude.
He could really hoop. Those. First of all,
There gotta be somebody better than these dudes, though. We're just not thinking.
Ray Allen, and
But he wasn't a great actor, right?
Yeah, he wasn't a great actor.
Yeah.
But like hoop.
And Edwards was great in Hustle, but it was a very short role, so we can't count that.
No, but like who could actor that could really hoop? Dwayne Martin.
Adam Sandler will cook you. Adam Sandler will cook you.
Dog, stop it, bro. Adam Sandler don't shoot.
My man got this.
All he does is pass. Every highlight I've ever seen of Adam Sandler, they're like, "Yo, Adam Sandler really be hooping."
See, that's what you
Every
lack.
highlight is the pass.
See, that's what you lack. You don't wait, hold on. You don't make your teammates better. Adam Sandler does. The same reason why I said Jokic was better than Embiid.
Well,
Let me talk, bro. The same reason I said Jokic was better than Embiid is the same reason why Adam Sandler is better than you. He makes his teammates better.
First of all, every one of them clips, you just see Adam Sandler passing. You don't even see where the ball goes. So you don't even know that should be going out of bounds, bro. Like, you just see him throw the no-look pass.
His passes are mad 1990s passes.
Hey, man. Every clip you see Adam Sandler just passing it and shaking a teammate's hand. That's all you ever see.
He loves the game, though.
Oh, I know he loves the game. You know,
I'm trying to think. I don't know what's another actor? Hooper. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, entertainer Hooper. I heard Brian McKnight had some real game.
Chris Brown could hoop with him before.
You told me Chris Brown. Yeah, but Brian McKnight. I heard he at one point at 31, he really wanted to work. Really wanted to play with the Lakers. But I heard he was playing pickup run in like UCLA with Kobe and all them back in the day.
Yeah, I get it, but I feel like a lot of these guys
Master P.
Yeah.
Master P. Them highlights was real.
Wait.
Bro.
He plays Summer League, right?
No, preseason.
Preseason.
Fuck Summer League. Like Summer League, if he didn't play Summer League, I'd be okay. He played.
So wait, was that
he played preseason?
Was that a tactic to get butts in the seats, or you think that was his level?
So I think it was a combination of both, but I think that he ultimately ended up being better than they expected. I saw Vince Carter talk about it on a podcast. He was like, "Fam, he almost made the team. He was like one of the last cuts. Like he could play. Like if he knew basketball, he would have been on the team." He said he was naturally gifted. He just didn't know the game. This dude was a rapper. He just didn't know the game. But that's the
difference between a lot of talented guys that just won't play in the NBA. But he got that opportunity because he was Master P. Shit getting uglier than a Master P sneaker. Who said that? What rapper?
I don't know.
Lloyd Banks.
Yeah, I was. You know every New York bar, I think you know, bro. You know, Lloyd Banks is a talented, he was a talented rapper,
Punchlines for days.
but he was not a good.
Oh,
artist.
he's selling a CD for $100. I heard. I think it's an actual CD or something like,
Lloyd
or
Banks?
maybe it's streaming. So,
Okay.
so you got to pay $100. How do you feel about that?
I mean, bro, we wasn't paying $14.99 back in the day, fam. That's why where you at
Napster?
now.
Napster?
No, we wasn't.
Oh, the bootlegs.
Nobody was paying for your album. No disrespect, Lloyd Banks, you couldn't sell a record. You know what I mean? Like, you were a talented rapper, but that doesn't translate to being a good musician.
Don't disrespect New York rappers, all right?
No, I mean, like, my favorite rapper of all time is a New York rapper. So,
Jay-Z.
no, Biggie.
Okay.
Biggie,
I respect it.
Biggie, way better than Jay-Z.
I respect it.
Okay.
Ash, you want to get to Kobe and Jordan next episode?
Nah, we have time. We got time.
All right, cool. So, shouts to the 4 for 100 podcast. I was on there. So, I had this clip that was shared around a lot. Not shared as much as your Julius Randle clip, but it was shared around a lot. A lot of crazy takes in the comment section. And it got me thinking, like, let me really look back at these two, LeBron and Jordan, because I was asked LeBron or Jordan without any context. It was just LeBron or Jordan. And, like, let me look back. Let me look. So I'm looking at old LeBron, old Jordan. I'm like, okay, LeBron is a better basketball player. I see it.
That's
Okay.
just a crazy
Jordan
take,
was
bro.
greater because he got that 6 for 8. I get it. But then I started, like, Kobe's in the algorithms, right? And I start watching your guy Kobe, and I know you like putting Kobe in every episode. You love talking. You compare every player to Kobe. That's why you don't like PG-13, because you compare him to Kobe.
Nobody compares to Kobe.
No, but that's what you do in your head. But anyway, so I was watching Jordan and Kobe highlights, right? And I got to thinking, Kobe is more skillful than Michael Jordan.
Absolutely. I've been saying that for a long time, right? Like, but I often say this. I've said this to you before, right? Who is a better like, if you're playing a video game, who is better at the video game? If it's a fighting video game, the person who knows every fucking move, can do all the finishing moves, or the person that only knows 3 moves but beats that person that knows all the moves?
I see what you're getting at.
Who is better? And it's the person that knows the 3 moves.
Just because you have every option doesn't mean you're better than the guy who only has
Absolutely.
3 options.
As much as I love Kobe, right? His biggest downfall is that he was so fucking good at making bad shots that he settled for
Relied
bad
on them.
shots. He
Relied on tough shot making.
43% shooting bad shots. Like, the difference between Michael Jordan and Kobe is Jordan was so much more disciplined to wait to get a better shot, and that's why he shot 50% and Kobe shot 44%, right? And so like I still love Kobe. That's why I think that's why a lot of people say the best basketball player ever is Kobe, because they're only looking at it from a technical standpoint. And if you talking about the most technical, best basketball player, I think Kobe is in the running. Like, he could do everything and anything at an elite level, more than probably any other player. So,
And
yeah,
just
he's the
because
most
you're more skillful doesn't mean you're better. But Jordan was stronger, he was bigger, he was faster, and I think to your point,
no, Kobe was bigger.
no, that 6'7" is. I'm just saying, bigger person, bigger hands, stronger, especially as the career went on. Jordan was just a better athlete, and he was more cerebral, just as you're pointing to, just as you're alluding to. I think he was the smarter player, but Kobe's handle.
I don't think I would.
Let me finish. Kobe's handle was better. He was more ambidextrous even than Jordan. Like, he was ambidextrous with range.
Yeah.
Just more skillful in almost every way. Jordan was more efficient, so you could kind of point to that being skill. Like, he was more efficient in the mid-range and things to that effect. But just because you're the more skillful player doesn't mean you're the better player, as you were saying.
Yeah. So one thing that Kenny Smith said about Michael Jordan, who he played with in college, right? And this is the first time I've ever heard this, and it made so much sense when Kenny said it. He said, playing with Michael Jordan, he was the best, he was the most talented player I've ever played with in my entire life, but at the same time, he was the most fundamentally sound player I've ever played in my entire life. He always had the left hand in the passing lane, the right hand in the passing lane. You know what I mean? He always, attacked your weak foot. He always closed out
Habits.
Just so fundamentally sound.
That's fair.
He never settled for cutting corners, and that is what made him so good. Even though, if anyone could go against the grain, cut corners, it would be that dude because he was so immensely talented.
Yeah, right.
And,
so when you have the talent and that type of mentality and those type of habits, that's what makes you.
Yeah, and
Michael Jordan.
I disagree with the smarter thing. I think Kobe was extremely smart. I think their intellect was at the similar level. I just think Kobe.
But Ash, let me say one thing. You just mentioned I just mentioned, and I think you agree with me that he relied on tough shot making. I mean, that's not the smartest way to play basketball.
It's not the smartest way to play basketball, but I don't think that that's a testament to his smart. I think that some people are just more disciplined. I think discipline is not always correlating with.
Well, it's semantics. I mean, if you're more patient for the right shot, I think that makes you a smarter player in a lot of ways.
But I also think that sometimes when you are more patient, you're less patient, you are able to create more. You know what I mean? Like you have a more mental freedom to create, and I think that's what, like, Kobe was so much more of an improvisationalist. You know what I mean? With some of the backboard throws off the backboard, you know what I mean? Like catching it to himself, passing it to other people. Because in life, right, whatever limitations you have, if you're a resourceful person, it turns into new opportunity, right? So
that's why I think part of the reason he's more skillful than Jordan, because he had to be all-time great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's my only knock on Kobe always, but I mean, for that being his crutch, still had a hell of a fucking career. 5 and 7 in the NBA Finals, 5 championships.
Closest thing to Jordan we've seen.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying player wise. I'm saying like just the way he played.
Yeah, and I mean, just could control a game. Like, I think one thing that we often can't factor in is winners, right? I talk about this from time to time. People that get to a point where they understand how to win, right? And winners are just people who can feel the game. They do things at the right time
Jokic.
to invoke energy for the team, right? They see when there's a gap in offense or defense or whatever that's needed, passing, and they fill those gaps, right? I think that is the biggest missing factor in most superstars today. That ability, like most superstars today, they compete with themselves. They go, because if you talk to a lot of these guys, the way analytics has infiltrated the game.
Infiltrated?
Yeah. These guys, it's like, all right, if for me to score 30 or 28 tonight, I gotta shoot 7 left elbow jumpers, 6 right elbow jumpers, get 4 fast break layups, go to the free throw line 10 times, and I hit my number. And that's all they're thinking about. And then it's like the win thing is a secondary thing. If I can win in the process of doing that, cool, right? Where I feel like winners, they assess the entire game and give what needs to be done at the right time. I think that, like, that's something LeBron had for a 10-year stretch, maybe even longer. Jokic is currently in that place right now. Unfortunate, as good as
KD.
Well, I don't think KD's ever had it. I think that's his biggest issue. As good as Giannis has been, he's never figured that out. You know what I mean? He happens to win with a good team, good pieces around him, but there's a certain groove that you get into when you're a great player, where you understand the landscape and you know exactly what you need to do to win. And for the most part, you're going to win unless somebody takes it from you. You know what I mean? You're never going to beat yourself, right? And I think that some of these great players who are quote unquote great players often still beat themselves. Like KD beats himself.
Yeah, and I think the whole Suns team, you're basically describing what that team is because they're elite skillfully, but they might not be elite at filling those gaps.
Yeah.
Because of the redundancy and skill set I always talk about.
Yeah, but the thing about it is
Like that's why I think in full health they're not really contenders to me this year.
it's I get it, but like if you are the dude, you fill those gaps. Like that's the thing. That's what separates.
And he
the-
did some
the
of that with the
great
Nets.
players.
When the other players were injured, like he would play point forward role at the right times and make the right pass at the right time. And we always talk about how like his his foot was on the line. It was that much of a difference, bro.
Yeah, but that was that was a baby Bucks team, and like
Didn't the Bucks win it? Didn't the Bucks win it the next year?
Yeah, but still, like that was a baby Bucks team. Like they didn't like dog. At the end of the day, man, like I just don't think he's that great. I think he is super immensely talented at scoring the ball, but as a basketball player, in my definition of a basketball player, is somebody that can elevate a team to win. The best basketball player.
He might not be great at
I think he's the
at
greatest
picking situations.
I think he's the greatest number 2 of all time. Like he's not a guy that's going to take
Scottie
you over the
Pippen's
hump.
greatest number 2 of all time. I don't think Katie's a number 2. I mean, Katie was the Finals MVP,
No,
so that's tough.
I think we've like fantasized KD as a number 1. I don't think he's I just think he's got such, because we look at him and we go, that is number 1. 30 a game, but that's the number 1 dude. And like there's so much more than just than putting up 30 points a game and whatever rebounds he gets to be a number 1 dude. You know? Like it's just way more than that.
Let's end it there.
All right?
Ash Combo, you have he's with us person of the day.
It's that would be
Is it?
Nah, it's Ja Morant's dad for dancing sidelines. Come on, fam.
My man's having fun.
Dog, bro, let your son have the spotlight. Like dog, you don't need to do that on the sideline, man. You don't need to do that. Like I get it, you're having fun, but like he just like
He's like a social butterfly, no?
I feel like he is like dudes be like, my son's famous, so I'm famous. Like that's not how it works. Let the dude have his spotlight. You did what you needed to do. You trained the kid, got him to elite level of of stardom. Like let him have his moment. Like it's like Ja Morant's dad should not be a headline. That should just not be a headline. Like we should not be talking about Ja Morant's dad. And we talk about that dude way too much. Even when Ja came back, they interviewed him and he was like, "Oh, Ja's, he doesn't plan on changing any behavioral like I don't think he needs to change any behavioral patterns or anything." Bro, dog, what like do what LeVar did and just go to the back, man. Just go to the back, man. LeVar is doing exactly what he needs to do and letting his son's game speak for themselves and letting them speak for themselves.
We're out of here. He's with us.
All right.